Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. It's been said that half of Americans consume some sort of true crime content regularly. Well, perhaps you're one of them. Crime has become extremely popular as a genre. If this is of interest to you, then I think you're going to enjoy meeting Steve Hamilton. He's a former prosecutor and criminologist. Steve has been in the trenches for many years, so he brings an insider's perspective on the goings-on in the criminal justice system.
I was a prosecutor for over 30 years. I did everything from murder to mayhem, and I wanted to write a book to sort of talk about, from a prosecutor's point of view, what's involved in a criminal case, and also what's behind a criminal case.
The book he just mentioned is a work of fiction. It's called A Scandal of the Particular, and in it, Steve likes to get into more than just the case at hand, because like he says, every case involves people with lives of their own.
The victims, the lawyers, their spouses, their relationships.
It's kind of like a trial within a trial, and I think all of these added layers help make this story a lot more interesting. Steve is a writer and a former prosecutor, but he's also very mindful of our social responsibility, and that is reflected in the story as well.
There's never a victim that's just one victim. Even the accused family is affected by the outcome of their actions. The accused is affected. The community is affected. It has a ripple effect. All of us have a role to play in the welfare of others. I honestly believe that.
Yeah, I think that is so important. Our actions and the actions of others have a ripple effect. The criminal and the victim are not the only lives affected by a crime. There is so much more going on. There's also something else to keep in mind. In the real world of criminal justice, when a case is solved, there's always another one to take its place.
The criminal justice system is best compared, I think, to a slaughterhouse. It's like I Love Lucy, with the chocolates keep coming. And so often, Hollywood or maybe another book will portray a defense lawyer where they do one particular case. But in a prosecutor's case and in the criminal justice system, it's one case of many. They keep coming.
You probably knew that, and to be fair to your favorite crime show, many times they just focus on the case at hand, and next week they focus on another one. But the fact that Steve gives that slaughterhouse mentality to his main character is one of the things that make this book interesting and different. And there's a lot more. Here's the deal. Our protagonist is Hyman Kazan.
Kazan is a fellow who is a senior lawyer in Vancouver. He's on the cutting floor, the slaughterhouse. Day after day, cases are coming in. And he gets assigned a case of a young gay man who is killed. And the police believe the person that was responsible for the murder was a judge. So this gets him interested, because now the criminal justice system is on trial, the judge is on trial. But what makes matters worse is his longtime love partner says to him, "Oh, by the way, I'm involved in a relationship with the same judge."
So Kazan's girlfriend admits to him that she is or was involved with the judge, Judge Craig Donald Smith. Guy really gets around. A scandal indeed.
So now how do you deal with you're seeking justice in the criminal justice system, and you're also seeking justice for yourself? You're dealing with jealousy, you're dealing with revenge, you're dealing with retribution, all of those issues on both levels. How do you navigate that? And that's the questions that the protagonist says. How do I navigate this?
It's an emotionally complicated scenario for sure, and a great time to quote the great American playwright Arthur Miller, who said, "Maybe all we can do is hope to end up with the right regrets." Focus on the things that are within your control instead of the things you can't control, or the things that are trying to control you.
When you think about the criminal justice system, just think right now, if you were to pick up the phone and to phone your local police force, right away, the criminal justice wheels are starting to grind. And your control over that is gone. Whether it's a family court case or a criminal case, you turn over your autonomy to a third party, like a judge, like a police force. You lose control. And you may have the same morality or the same way of looking at things, or you may want the same, what you see as a just outcome, whether it's custody of your children or the resolution of a criminal matter. But once you let that go, that person, that third party may not share your view, may not share your morality, then what? And it just started with a phone call.
Steve Hamilton's new book, A Scandal of the Particular, is another reminder to question everything. I say it all the time. We are only human after all, and while our system of justice is a pretty good one, it is flawed because we as humans are flawed.
I just hope it starts a dialogue. I hope that it reveals the players and people question the players at the front of the room. You know, most people, if you ever go into a courtroom, you just see the back of heads. If you think about that, you just see the back of the lawyers. You see the judge's face, but you don't see them. So what's going on in their lives that will affect the outcome of the case that's before you? Think of them differently. You know, we think of them as perhaps robotic in terms of going through the facts of the law or whatever, but it's far from that. Think of the players, think of the effect of the case on them, and think of what's the next case. How does this all work together? I hope it gives a revealing look at the justice system, other than, you know, what we just see from A to B. It goes to C, D, and the rest. I hope, anyway.
Thank you, Steve, because we have to start somewhere. Supreme Court judges, Court of Appeals judges, District Court judges, they're all nominated by the President and confirmed by Congress. Other judges are elected in this country. And how much do you know about the judicial system? Hopefully a lot. How about the legal system in general and the judges on our ballot? It's all information that sometimes we don't know enough about, but it's all readily available. So here we go. It's another rainy day on the west coast of Canada. Attorney Hyman Kazan is already at his lowest point in life, and the booze is flowing. The next thing you know, a body of a young man is found in downtown Vancouver, and it has a link to Kazan's girlfriend's new lover, Judge Smith. As Kazan starts looking into the judge's possible role in the murder, some sinister secrets come to surface. Secrets that threaten to destroy whatever is left of Kazan's life. Sounds pretty good. A Scandal of the Particular by Steve Hamilton. It's about love, companionship, relationship upheaval, pain, regret, justice, mortality, and morality. It's about how we drown ourselves in misery to avoid the pain of a heartbreak. Check it all out online at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or just go right to Steve's website, HamiltonSteveBooks.com. Log in and read an excerpt. See what you think. Let me know. And that will do it for this edition of Newsgram from WebTalkRadio.com.